Let's talk about it. How many of you have ever had people quit your team, or maybe a customer that like canceled their order and returned it, and or maybe someone that never quit your team, but like it was like a friend or a family member said, no, I'm not interested. And then they went and told everybody else that what you were doing was a pyramid scheme. Like, bruh, what you're doing is the opposite of network marketing, but they were marketing my business for me in a negative way. I was like, man, what if you just like reached out to all those people instead of warning them, you recruited them? Does that make sense? Anyway. So I dealt with that in those early years, not just days, but in the early years, I dealt with that a lot because I recruited a lot of my friends. I remember I recruited one of my buddies, Joey. I remember he was like all in. He was so excited. He was telling everybody like, Melton wants me to win. Melton wants me to make money. Like Melton is the best and we're going to get rich and all this. And I don't know what happened, but it was like, he was like over the top excited, like too much. And I kept trying to tell him like, bro, you got to chill. You got to chill. Like you're coming on too strong. You have commission breath. Like it's a little much, bro, which is kind of good, but it's kind of bad, right? Because he was like ignorance on fire and he's just like arguing with people and telling people like, I found this amazing thing. And then eventually enough people got him to like realize that he sounded like an idiot. He didn't know what he was talking about. He couldn't answer basic questions. And of course he got what I like to call OPO'd. Other people's opinions got to him. Someone peed in his Cheerios. I know that's gross. And that's just an old school MLM saying, but what it means is you allowed someone else to rob you from the opportunity. You allowed someone else to influence your decision. So his decision was what it was. He decided to quit. It's sad. It's frustrating when that happens, but he went negative. He went from super positive, like into the opposite direction. So, but the point is, I knew he was on his way out. I knew he was going to quit and he did. And guess what? Whatever. I don't want people to quit. I also don't want people to, I don't know, cut me off in traffic. But is it still going to happen? Yeah, life happens. It is what it is. And so many people ask me like, hey, what do I do if this person leaves or this person quits or hey, this person quit my team and they're bad mouthing. And by the way, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes people leave and they're quiet or they leave and they're very courteous and they're very professional. Some people leave and they can't stop, but just, like talk smack about their old company. And I'll be honest, I did that at one point. I did that when I was a more immature leader in the profession, but this was back in 2013. I left a company after 7 years and, there was a lot of drama, if you will, when I left. It was a big deal. When I left, it was like they were sounding the alarms, like everyone blocked John and Nadya, which by the way, let me give you the first tip. Worst thing you can do. Please don't sound the alarm and message your whole team. Everybody block so-and-so. I did a video about that the other day, right? This is the problem. Like, you're not realizing that sometimes people move on for their own personal reasons. And sometimes they're the wrong reasons. Sometimes it's the right reasons. The point is we left because we left and we didn't believe in the company anymore. And that was on us. There's people I have friends that are still in that company that still make a really great income and they believe in the company. They love the company. I just didn't believe in it anymore. So I moved on. And I tried my best to be courteous, professional, and just promote my new thing and not badmouth the old thing. But then they started badmouthing us. So I'm like, all right, let's go. I was like, respond accordingly. They talked a little smack. I talked a little smack. I was just a little better at it. So I got a lot of attention. And this was back in the early days of social media. So, it was what it was. Some things went down. We had to deal with a lawsuit. That was about an 18-month debacle. The lawsuit sucked. Did not enjoy that at all. But, it was what it was. It happened. I went through it. At the time, it was a big deal. But here's the other thing. I just want to point this out. Nobody's talking about that today. Nobody cares. Years later, the entire industry knew that our company was shut down. It was what it was. Guess what? At the time, super big deal. Horrible, stressful, brutal. But guess what? Nobody's talking about that today. Why do I say this? This too shall pass. This too shall pass. So listen, do your best job to maintain your composure, maintain professionalism. Don't burn a bridge just because someone quit your team, someone returned your product, a customer is bad-mouthing the product. Listen, I got competitors that talk smack. I literally had someone share with me the other day, a woman, a doctor, that is calling me and my company out by name. Dude, I invited her to my VIP block party years ago. Literally couldn't care less. I actually forgot she existed until someone reminded me because she posted about me. Like, dude, what? Okay, cool. She doesn't like me. Boo freaking who? Ain't losing sleep over it. Because again, it's business. In business, especially if you're halfway decent, you're going to have some competition. You're going to have some competition. Listen, in sports, can you imagine being a professional athlete? If you have a bad game, a bad week, a bad month, there is a player on your team that is your competition just foaming at the mouth to get your position, right? My son plays Division I baseball. Now, unfortunately, he tore his ACL in September of last year. So, long recovery. It's like 9-month recovery. Guess what? When he's healthy, he's going to be competing to be a starter and get on the field, right? He's not going to want someone to quit the team or get hurt or get kicked off the team. But if it happens, he's going to step up into that opportunity. So why am I telling you this? If you have someone quit your team, it's an opportunity. If you have someone quit your team, your upline quits, your top earner quits, your top earner gets terminated, your top earner leaves. Like, okay, this is an opportunity. This is your opportunity to step up. It's your opportunity to show people how a professional handles adversity. Did you think it was just going to be a super easy joyride? Did you think you were going to get rich? And actually, what's harder? It's not hard to get rich. It's hard to stay rich. It's hard to maintain your professionalism, not take it personal. And you might say, well, what if they are talking smack? What if they're running their mouth? Be the bigger person. But this is what people do. And by the way, people also leave and run their mouth. Sometimes they're doing it out of desperation. Sometimes they're doing it because they're just triggered or emotional or they're that type of person. I avoid trashy. I like to be classy. I like to be professional. You can do whatever you want. This is just me sharing with you after 22 years of experience that you will lose some people. Nothing lasts forever. And just be grateful for the money you made together, right? And I'll tell you this too. This is why for me, and anybody can admit that this makes sense. Everybody would admit that this is just common sense, is that number one, what goes around comes around. Karma is real. Treat people the way you'd want to be treated, right? If you get mad when people try to cross-recruit your people, then don't cross-recruit people. I don't put a gun to someone's head and say, you better join my team, boy. I'm gonna shoot you if you don't join my, I'm like, right? There's no threatening. There's no, don't plant seeds of doubt. Listen, if someone's already questioning things and they follow my videos and they're like, hey, I wish my upline did videos like this. I wish my upline responded to messages as fast as John. I wish my upline was in the trenches 8 days a week and led by example and worked his ass off and, taprooted my team and supported my team even when I'm checked out. Like, I kind of wish I had a leader like that. I can't control if you're not a good leader for your team. Guess what? You can be bitter or you can get better. You can get frustrated or you can get fascinated and say, I lost that person to this company or that company or this leader. What could I do to get better so those people don't leave me next time? If someone's happy, they're not going to go somewhere else. So when this happens to you and someone quits your team, do your best to maintain composure, be a professional, rise above it, right? Be the bigger person.